You're now listening to the Listen Up Podcast.
Listen up. Listen up. Listen. Welcome back to Listen Up Podcast, where we analyze a new album each week. I'm Jordan, and this week we've got me, Nick.
Maybe I'll get a pet. Maybe I'll name him Jeff.
And Jamie.
Palace.
This week we're going to be taking a look at God's Favorite Customer by Father John Misty, released in 2018. Really quick, if you want to keep up with the show, you can find us on Twitter at List Up Podcast and on Instagram at Listen Up Pod. That's where we'll make any announcements regarding the show or merch. Speaking of which, if you'd like to support the show, you can find merch at interestpointproductions.com or at the link tree on the socials. So regarding the selection for this week, Nick, why did you choose this album for us?
You said, or at the link tree on the socials.
You know, with that NPR ass intro.
had to switch up on him real quick.
Welcome to This American Life with Jordan Moore. We've got Ira Glass.
Yeah, Ira Glass. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah. I picked this album honestly because I was having trouble picking other things and picking anything whatsoever, and I before this year, before Father John Misty came out with his newest album, I wasn't really a big fan or anything. Like, I listened to him sometimes, but after he came out with his newest album, I listened to it and I was like, oh, that was good. Like, I wonder what some of his older deep cuts sound like. And I think I started by listening all the way through I Love You, Honey Bear, which is his second album and was kind of his breakout album. Chateau Lobby, I think it's called Chateau Lobby. It has some subtitle, but I forget what it is. It's something like In C for Two Virgins or something. And it's like... that was a free song of the week or the month. I forget how iTunes used to do it.
Yeah,
but iTunes used to have this program where they would give you a free song every week.
I think it was the week. I think free song of the week.
And that's how I found St. Paul and the Broken Bones. I think.
That's how I found Hippocampus.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when their first album came out, before they really got any acclaim, I was like, yo,
gotcha.
Good as shit.
It might be how I found Lake Street Dive, but it's also how I found Father John Misty.
I think it's how I think that's how you found Lake Street Dive. And then I found them through you and our friend Travis. Yep.
But yeah, and I kind of just really enjoy his music a lot now. And
the rest is history, bro.
I can't listen to too much of it at one time because it kind of wears on you after a while.
Especially certain albums. I don't know that this album does that as much for me, but other ones, yes, definitely are like, oh
yeah. Well, when you know the backstory to a lot of his music, the other ones are like, they're they're super satirical and relatively sad in a grand like overall scheme, but especially like pure comedy. But
yeah.
But this one is like very personally sad to him, and I wanted to pick it because like there were probably a lot of one-liners that we could pick off of other albums, but this one is just easier to digest, like from a just listening to it for the first couple times standpoint, because the other ones have so many weird metaphors and strange he talks about kissing his brother in his dreams and like just like that's a weird one-liner, but just crazy stuff. And
one-liner.
This one's got some strange stuff too, but I thought it was a little more digestible. The music isn't too weird except for like Date Night. That song's kind of weird, but
yeah.
Like, yeah, I like it. It's the producer. I think this actually is the only album that Jonathan Wilson didn't help him produce. and that's the guy who's produced like a ton of Dawes' music. He produced the new Angel Olsen album. He's touring with Roger Waters right now, like playing guitar with him and singing and stuff. Like, he's just a very talented guy who apparently is from, I'm not sure if he's from North Carolina or if he's from Raleigh. But he, like, they did a show at PNC a couple weeks ago, and he posted a picture and said like back in the home like state or some shit like that. But yeah,
he's from Maryland.
Yeah, Father John Misty is. Yeah, I was talking about Jonathan Wilson. The producer.
I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
my fault.
My bad. I was like, fault. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, Father John Misty's from Maryland, and he grew up in a very traditionalist, like Pentecostal Christian family, and he wanted. I think I'm not sure what he was going to college for, but I know he dropped out, started making music, started drumming for Fleet Foxes. He drummed on their album Helplessness Blues.
Mm-hmm. That's the only one I know.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only album you know?
Mm.
I think that's the only one he drummed on. Then he did ayahuasca in Canada.
Okay.
And
Canada?
Quit yeah. And,
interesting.
And,
most people go to like New Mexico. I would not have guessed Canada.
Cold ayahuasca. And he...
Saskatchewan.
Out here in Saskatchewan. A little sorry. But he... After that, he had a bit of an epiphany and split off to do his own thing, and now he's Father John Misty. His real name is Josh Tillman, so you hear him like say that in a couple songs. Like the second song is called Mr. Tillman, like it's just about him and how sad he is. But
no, it's about a hotel, dude.
Oh well, yeah. But the album was written.
What's a metaphor? I don't.
Wait, everything is literal, right? You said figurative language exists, but
I don't believe it.
Cockamamie. He's what was I saying? Fuck. He's a wildly satirical, somewhat depressive. I would say debaucherous, but he's not really like any sort of like outward direct asshole. Like he says some harshly critical things in some of his music, but he doesn't seem very impersonal in interviews and things like that.
Yeah.
He just seems like he kind of puts on a theatrical character in a lot of his music. But I know he wrote this album when he was separated from his wife and he was going through a lot. And I'm pretty sure the context of a lot of the songs sound like he just took himself out of the situation because he just wasn't like, he didn't really know, like he was in like a very severe depressive, like bad mental health episode.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, and these are the songs that came out of that, and they're still together now. And she's a photographer and like a director. She's directed a couple music videos for him, especially one off this album that I like a lot, for God's Favorite Customer, the song, the titular track. But yeah, I just talked for a long time. Jamie, what did you think about the album? Or Jordan?
I'd never checked this one out. I'd only ever checked out. Is it Pure Comedy? Is that the one with all the people on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only one I'd ever checked out. But I did know of the song "Mr. Tillman" because of Jason Isbell,
Yeah.
like running into him when, like, on the day that he said he wrote the song or whatever.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. Let's see. There's a thing on Genius that had a more official write-up. I just knew it tangentially was kind of like, but Jason Isbell said the song was based on a real-life encounter in which he ran into Josh Tillman in the lobby of a hotel. If you had seen him that day, you would have been worried about him too. I think anybody would have been concerned on that particular day. It was one of those where you don't have to have a whole lot of empathy after you've seen the guy, because he did not look good. He looks a lot better now, and I'm happy about that. I think maybe after having a child, you start thinking everybody was somebody's little baby at some point. It changes you. That was like an offhand from an interview with him or something, with Jason.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I know that they've kind of had like either been in like the same circles or just like had run-ins and stuff. I could be entirely wrong, but I think Tillman / John Misty. I'm pretty sure he might have done a few shows with Jason Isbell.
Oh yeah.
I think so, like opening for them
I know
or something
have.
like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so they've kind of gone in the same circles and like are familiar with each other. I don't know how like close they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that shit was funny.
He looks a lot different now than he did than he does on this album, and like previous albums. He's not on the cover, but he pictures of him from that era. He's got like way longer slicked back hair, but now he's got a shaved head, kind of like a scruffy like bulldog looking beard,
Shaved head era, huh?
and like a lot of times he just wears stuff like he's wearing on the cover of this album, like a blazer and a button up and like nice dress pants and some sort of like espadrille or like no sock, like a fancy shoe.
I was gonna say, what the fuck is an espadrille?
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
But yeah, and so in the song, Mr. Tillman, he also directly says, Jason Isbell's here, and he seemed a little worried about you.
Yeah.
That's a directly like real life thing that happened.
Yeah. It seems like he likes to blend in things that are real and things that aren't with his songs to make you kind of think like, oh, did that really happen? And some of the stuff is completely made up and some of it is completely real.
Some of it is entirely cap.
Sometimes Father John Misty he's really capping, but
He's not really the Father John that we need.
Yeah, Father John Misty, he's already lying, bro. His name is Josh Tillman. But
Bro, John is short for Josh, bro.
Hey, still probably couldn't do anything worse than the actual Catholic Church does. So, you know what I'm saying? Already starting out better.
That's
on
facts, though, Jordan. Jordan,
Just
educate our audience
if it weren't
on
for Mark Ruffalo, we wouldn't know about that, you know?
Mark Ruffalo and Michael Keaton. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Best Michael Keaton role, go.
I don't know who that is.
Batman, bro.
No,
Actually, no.
absolutely not.
The announcer in
Let me see real
Need for
quick.
Speed with Aaron Paul.
Michael.
No, it's got to be the Bed Bath & Beyond / police chief from...
It's got to be Morbius.
guys.
He was in Morbius. Let's go.
He was in
I
Morbius?
didn't know that, bro. There's no way they put Vulture in Morbius.
Yeah, I was...
No, it says he's in
I mean,
Morbius.
That's fucked.
Does it say who he plays in Morbius? I never saw it. Vic and her friend saw it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's dog shit." And I was like, "Vic says it's a bad movie?"
Adrian Toomes. Adrian
Yeah, that's
Toomes?
Vulture. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Vulture. Well, I mean, because Morbius is originally like a Spider-Man villain, right?
Yeah.
It's Morbin
So it makes
time,
sense.
boys.
But
Dude, I've never seen any of these movies that this guy is in. It's just like, the other guys. Okay, he's in the other guys.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
He's the police chief and the Bed Bath & Beyond manager in the other.
Oh, he's in Cars too. Cars. That's my
Cars?
answer. He plays.
He's not Doc, is he?
No. Paul Newman is Doc,
Yeah, I was about to say.
which is hilarious. But
Yeah.
Wait, what's his name again? Michael Keaton.
Michael
He plays
Keaton.
Chick Hicks. He plays Chick
plays
Hicks.
shit.
Chick Hicks.
Why have I not recognized that? I gotta watch Cars again. Bro, it is so funny you saying you don't know any of these movies. Michael Keaton is like one of the most famous guys.
Okay,
to me.
these all look like
you know
movies
his face.
that look 1982, 1993, 1998. I wasn't
I mean,
born.
he's been around for decades.
Yeah, he was.
But I haven't
he was
watched
Batman.
any of these movies.
He was one of the Batmans. Yeah.
I've never seen a Batman.
Oh, really? I
wild for
hadn't
him.
for a while, but I would recommend the
The
second,
Christopher Nolan Batman's because
Second Nolan.
Heath Ledger is the best Joker that's ever been.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah,
I feel like I feel like it just made people mad. That I feel like movies are actually good. I was just
They
clowning
actually
because
are.
I get told that every single time.
I had literally never seen those movies ever until last September, I think it was, whenever Vic was at her bachelorette party. I was home alone, and in one night I watched all 3 Batman movies, starting at like 8 p.m. until like, or maybe I watched the first 2 and went to bed and then watched the 3rd one the next day. I don't remember. But I was like, damn, these are good. I can't believe I'd never seen this until now. After
Really good.
Gonzo, Zach, and Nick had been telling me for like 3+ years at that point to watch the movies, and I just never did.
every time I bring up that I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings, any of the old Indiana Jones, or any of the first original 6 Star Wars, everybody starts to
Wait, have you not seen?
freak out.
Wait, have you never seen the original 6?
At this point, I don't know that
That's
Star Wars
interesting.
offers you anything because the best Star Wars movie was Episode 8 because it was a real movie and everyone tried to talk shit about it.
Let's go.
That's just Jamie trying to be different. I'm
an episode 8 enjoyer with no context.
Episode
with
8
no
is
context
good,
of the rest
episode
of the
8
series.
is an actual good movie and like had some interesting thought points and was like really cool how they ended it.
What happened in episode 8 again?
Episode 8 was like the Luke Skywalker shit.
Luke
where he,
Skywalker,
like,
Force Ghost.
Yeah, like Force Ghost and like really good cinematography when they
and like
when she turns
like
around
Snoke.
and just blasts the ship through the other ship. That's the hardest scene in Star Wars.
Is that the one Carrie Fisher dies in?
Well, that's the one she died during filming, and instead of letting her go, they made her like Mary Poppins, Princess Leia. So that's like the one thing I would say detracted from that. They should have just like let that be her death scene.
I don't know. I kind of she was like frozen in space, right? And then she like came back to life.
Yeah, it was terrible. It looks like I didn't.
But Laura Dern sacrificed herself.
Yeah, that scene is hard as shit. That is still might be my favorite Star Wars scene, except for the end of Rogue One, where the planet gets
Rogue
blast.
One's a good movie.
The 2 best Star Wars movies are Rogue One and Episode 8, I think.
Let's go.
Like,
wait, so did you not watch the
in Episode 5.
beginning 3 like growing up? It sounds like you watched them like
I've
when you
seen
were
all
an
of
adult
them.
though.
No,
But when did
I
you watch
watched
them though?
As a kid. I mean, definitely
Really?
after I watched episodes 4 through 6, but I still didn't really enjoy episodes 1 through 3 because I was at the age where like the intergalactic politics was boring as shit.
I remember watching episode 3 in
midichlorians and all that
theaters.
shit. See, I didn't do that. I didn't watch it that early.
That's how young I was.
But like episodes 4 through 6 are like entertaining, but I don't think that they're like. I mean, they were really cool at the time and like cool to think about all the practical effects.
Yeah, obviously
those
there's
are like 4 through 6 are Obi-Wan and Anakin, right?
yeah, kind of, and a bunch of other people.
No, that's episodes.
No.
1,
Yeah.
1 through 3 is Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah. Because
Oh.
they're the prequels. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, Anakin and Obi-Wan are still in the other ones.
I mean,
just
yes,
Darth Vader
but
and
by episode
Luke.
4, it starts
Bro,
with
shut up.
Darth Vader. So like it's
Sorry, bro.
You know,
Sorry, I didn't
bro,
know.
spoiler, man, spoiler.
I
But
played
yeah,
the
like, those
Lego
are
games.
cool.
Alright.
But like episode 8, if you look at it from a movie standpoint, I think episode 8 is the only like good, legitimately good movie. Like the other ones are
I
enjoyable.
think that's a bad opinion. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah, I know. Dude, I saw a fucking tweet the other day that like was exactly how I felt. Everyone's like, episode 8 was Ryan Johnson's episode 8 was the closest Star Wars ever got to a real good movie, and everyone fucking shits on him for it.
dude, your
Then the
TL
person-
definitely just catered that to you, man. That's not a
The
real
person who
opinion of
tweeted
people.
that probably got doxxed and probably got like
Yeah, no.
just
People like
20
hated that
death
movie when it
threats.
came out, and I left the theater and I was like, damn, that was like cool. That was
Bro,
good.
yeah.
No,
I left and I was like,
I've-
yeah, that was cool.
Dude, I've liked. I don't remember 1 through 3 that much, but I've liked pretty much every Star Wars movie that's coming out. Pretty much, like I'm not. I'm not hard to satisfy.
I don't
you know?
hate any of them, but of all the like classic movies in my mind, like I feel like Indiana Jones 1 through 3 would be better than watching Star Wars 4 through 6. Like I would recommend that because Alien Crystal Skull was a terrible movie.
That's
I
the only
don't
one
know
I've
about-
seen.
Wait, that's the only one that I've seen too.
Oh, bro, y'all gotta watch 1 through 3. Those
Are you talking
like
about the one where at the
good
very
movies.
end where like they start like morphing into each
Where's
other?
the alien skull shit with Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, that's the. I also went to see that one in theaters as well.
I saw it in theaters too. But like, I grew up. My mom was an Indiana Jones fan. But like, like 1 through 3, those are all good movies. Like those are legitimately good movies.
I would actually really like to see those.
I would go back and watch those. Those are very
You
good.
could also watch Star Wars as well, though.
I mean, yeah, like
we'll
you
see.
should watch.
I'm
Star Wars.
I'm
It's
advocating
enjoyable.
for 4 through 6 since Jamie won't. Okay,
Those are
I'm
the
doing
only
it.
ones I really want to see.
Yeah, I mean, 1 through 3 are not worth it. And like, there's some cool scenes, but like 4 through 6, I'm not saying like they're bad, but I just don't think that they're as good as people claim that they are.
A nuanced Star Wars opinion.
Like they're enjoyable, yes, but and like if you were a kid when they came out, they probably blew your fucking mind. But I don't know why you would dick ride those movies now.
Jordan, what did you think about this album?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. I've tried to watch that and I had to give up. It was so boring.
it had some what's it called?
You're not a big piano fan?
I had the right word. It had some redeeming values, like the solo and Just Dumb Enough to Try. I liked a lot.
I'm no stranger to the feet.
It's like not. Is it a guitar? It's like it's a muffle. It's some like distorted instrument or something.
There's almost like some sort of strange piano in the background that like sounds really like twinkly almost and like jangly and strange. Like
but there's
in
like
the second verse.
Yeah,
but I like it a lot.
maybe it's like a distorted saxophone in the middle.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
also haven't been able to tell for sure if it's a sax or a guitar. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It
I've gone
sounds more
back
like a
and forth.
sax, I think.
It's hard to
now that
tell.
I
And then the
re-listen
string
to it.
thing, I believe, is an acoustic guitar, Nick.
Okay.
I think it's
Okay,
like
okay.
the high,
That makes sense.
the high
That
strings
makes
on an
sense.
acoustic where it's really
Yeah.
got that like shimmeriness to it,
Yep. Yeah,
Like-
I see that.
like fresh strings.
You guys
before
think
they-
that solo is a distorted sax? It's not a guitar?
I can't.
I think it's a
tell.
sax.
It's hard to
I
tell
think it's a sax.
Fair enough.
because it.
Interesting.
But
Like,
But anyway,
it's so hard to tell because it's right on the edge where it's like, is it a blown out saxophone being amplified like that, or is it like some sort of horn, or is it like a really distorted guitar?
Yeah.
yeah,
Hard to tell,
I
but
got
it's very good too. I do enjoy that as well.
I think he has like a good voice, and the music wasn't like terrible. I would say like it was interesting at least. I don't know if it has any replay value for me, but it wasn't like I guess boring to listen to like some of the other albums I've listened to. But
See you about next
I'm
week.
glad you. I'm glad you thought it was a little interesting. I was like, I knew it was a little slower, and there's like some songs with some attitude, but nothing's like super duper high.
And I wish I
energy.
could have gone more in depth with it too. I think if I had more time, I could have. Obviously,
Yeah.
again, we've talked about it before. There's songs I listened to like 2 years later, and I'm just like, oh, I never realized that was that
yeah.
lyric. Yeah.
Still waiting.
like, oh,
for
that's
you
a
guys
lot
to have
deeper.
That moment with 22 a million.
What is that album again?
That's the Bon Iver album we did.
Jordan said, "Bone."
Did
who?
not save any of those.
Episode. That album is a 10, and I stand by that. What episode was that? That was an earlier one, right?
But yeah, Jordan, as a fellow BoJack Horseman
Episode 43.
fan, I think you'd enjoy some of the lyrics if you really dug into them.
It's true.
Really?
He's come out of that state, so I don't know if it would resonate
Nick.
as much now. Nick.
Yeah.
Why did you watch BoJack Horseman though? I've never asked that. You didn't seem like you were ever like super sad, or were you?
I mean, like, I was never like had the awareness that I was like super depressed or anything.
Yeah.
But like, I have some sort of mild depression.
Okay.
like
okay,
for
okay.
sure. I've never been diagnosed, but like, you know, I have kind of a like I have a good day-to-day attitude. But
Wait,
have
I was
kind
talking about when you watched BoJack. Are you talking about like right now?
of, I'm just kind of talking about like my adult life in general. Like,
Okay.
Like
okay.
I have a good.
All of us
I-
do. It's hard to
Yeah, yeah.
have a positive outlook on the world when
Yeah, when
we're
you're on
having
when
once
you're
a
on
lifetime climate crisis every year, and yet the old people in charge are still saying no, it's
that's fake."
I'm like, okay, sure, buddy.
when you're on the internet every day, you can only be so mentally
Chronically.
healthy. Like, I like I have a good
Headline after
mental.
headline about the Danube is at historically low levels.
Yeah, I have a good mental like day-to-day outlook most of the time, but I have a generally pretty bleak outlook for the next I don't know, like 100 years.
I feel like everyone could ask that.
You don't trust our government and the corporations
I
to
don't
make the
trust-
right decisions, Nick?
You don't trust companies to have your best interest in
Actually,
mind?
yeah, I actually have been thinking about quitting my job and working for Amazon because I love Jeff Bezos so much.
I
But,
want him to have more money.
Yeah.
Facts.
because eventually that money will trickle down to my children.
Yeah,
I won't see any
exactly.
of it. I'll be destitute and won't be able to live with 3 roommates. But I won't be able to afford that. But it's all for Bezos. All for Lex Luthor. We love him. So that's probably why I like Father John Misty and BoJack Horseman.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even remember when I was watching all of BoJack Horseman. I think I watched a lot of it freshman year, and then
college?
I'm pretty sure it was freshman year when you were like chugging through it. And I was like, I gotta catch up and watch that, and then I just haven't since then.
Dude. Wait, did you ever watch any of it, Jamie?
I watched it as it came out for the first, I think, 3 seasons, and then after that, I didn't like. When it was the break after that, it was either after season 2 or season 3. I never picked it back up to finish it.
I mean, the show is so good, but like
kind of like what I did with Better Call Saul with season 1. I have not watched past that.
My dad started watching that whenever it came out.
But I
yeah,
should.
Better Call Saul is great. But like BoJack is so good, but the statement rings true that if your friend tells you that they're rewatching it, you probably need to go eat lunch with them and see how they are.
Yeah, catch up with them. If they say, "Oh, hey, I just watched BoJack in a week,"
Dude, that was me, bro. That was me.
Exactly. That's what you said.
I binged BoJack.
You were like, yo, I finished the season, and we were like, "What about work?" And you were like, "Huh?"
Oh wait.
Yeah,
Don't let him hear it.
I finished this 6 season.
He's
show
joking.
in
He's
7 days.
joking.
I'm kidding.
My place of employment. But
Blank employer.
blank employer. Probably public information at this point, but
I do wonder that how publicly.
I mean, we post it, so
I don't.
Anyone who's like who's mildly internet literate could probably market themselves as a private investigator to anyone who's 60 or older. Like, I could tell you about this person.
Yeah, I mean, well, someone tweeted, they were like, it's crazy how the CIA is like 80% male, because I just went through my boyfriend's Twitter likes or Instagram posts for, all the way up until 2016 and to piece together his love life since 2016. And I just don't think any man could do that type of shit. And I'm like, yeah, like that's legitimate like private investigation. Like internet sleuthing and stalking should definitely qualify as fucking PI work.
I'm sure it's part of their process now.
Yeah.
If a job recruiter can do it, anyone can do it. True. That was a weird statement. Sorry, job recruiters out there. I love you. And
if a job recruiter didn't do it, any fucking
catching strays, dude.
do
Catching strays.
I do be shooting buckshot out into the into the sky more and more these days.
That's kind of how this podcast goes. We just say shit and then
we're like, I hope that doesn't affect my future.
Look, Cody and Noel started TMG while they were working in software engineering jobs. I think we're fine.
Yeah, we should be all right. Yeah. Plus,
we're just waiting for our moment where I can take off and we can quit our other jobs.
David, don't tell anyone the bad things that we say on here. All right.
Turn it into a multi-million-dollar business.
Oh man, babe,
that's the dream, baby.
Pasta water.
Interest Point's gonna be a real thing one day.
We got it.
Hell yeah,
baby. Our fucking domain name.
Excuse me. Oh god.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. So. I mean, I could talk about any song on here. Were there any that like specifically resonated to you guys?
I mean, I liked a lot of the album. Like specifically, I liked a lot of the piano in it. Like "Hang Out at the Gallows," that little like the piano runs and shit after the is it the third verse? Whichever one that's like your compositions before he says "Hang Out at the Gallows" or whatever.
Yeah,
like that piano there is fucking sick.
I got you.
Your composition, the start of every song,
really
I really
like that.
love the piano in the Palace. It's like
yeah. The Palace might be my favorite song on the record. I think
oh yeah,
it's very good.
nice. Yeah,
I really like it.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about them in order. I feel like we've been doing that more recently, but
I know, like
Yeah,
we
no,
did
we
that
can
for
talk
the
about-
first like 5 episodes, decided it was a shitty format, and somehow we've just like
we circled back.
we branched off, and then we've just somehow realigned ourselves with that shit.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, to start off with one of the
A bag of speed from Jamie the PhD.
hey
Me, baby, dealing
The-
meth at the pharmacy.
one of my favorite piano moments in that song is right after he says that. Jamie the PhD and like it sounds like he hits more low end keys right there or like does some sort of like
Yeah,
deeper harmony. It's like dum.
Bag of speed from Jamie the PhD. She comes by the front desk.
I love it. Like the sound of acoustic piano, like the sound of a grand piano, like
Yes.
well recorded and mixed. I just love it so much. Yeah, that's definitely. I think, yeah, that's definitely probably the slowest song on the album. That one or the songwriter, but it's still great. That one is specifically about his stay in some hotel, probably like the Chateau Marmont or like Four Seasons in L.A. or something. But I know that
Chateau Marmont, famous location of many famous people, orgies, and deaths.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that.
I've heard him tell stories about the Chateau Marmont, and I'm pretty sure that's what Chateau Lobby is about. Is about like literally that hotel, not just some like chateau or something. But because I think that's where him and his wife. It might be where they like honeymooned or something, or like just stayed the night of their wedding, or it was no, it was where he took her on a big date because.
Well, hotel.
Wait, no, that's wrong.
Dale,
I just,
at the hotel.
I just,
305.
I just know it's wrapped up in his.
She got a booty like a Donkey Kong.
She got a booty like Donkey Kong. Dale, 305.
Mr. Worldwide,
Mr.
Everything I
Worldwide.
just said was a lie. but-
Mr. Worldwide.
round and round, into the night, it's going down. It's going down.
The Walmart in Fairbanks, Alaska would love to
Oh, yeah.
welcome you, Pitbull.
Dude, that is my favorite story and picture ever. Fucking Pitbull wearing a bearskin rug, just fucking
Oh,
surrounded by
dude,
the
the
Walmart
internet
employees.
is too good. The internet is
so fucking sick.
too good, bro.
Honestly, like as much as I hate on Pitbull's music, he seems like a stand-up guy. Like just like his lyrics are pretty weird, but he gives back to the community and like does shit like that happily. So you know,
he seems like a decent guy.
can't fault him. Boost Mobile, darling.
Dale, who's mobile?
Oh man. But yeah, that's where my ad lib came from. Was this song where he says, "Maybe I'll get a pet, learn how to take care of somebody else. Maybe I'll name him Jeff."
My name is
just
Jeff.
Randomly.
See, I just said pals.
I'm Jam.
Oh, Jeff.
My cat
Jeff. Oh man. But like I feel like that song was really him just leaning into his
Depression.
depression and like more like persona of nothing matters. Like it's very nihilistic. Like he's writing this very sad song, but he's also just writing lyrics that sound like throwaways and leaving them in there. Like maybe I'll name him Jeff. And he says, "Last night I wrote a poem. Man, I must have been in the poem zone."
The poem zone.
I was kinda like the Pone Zone.
The poem. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too.
Pony noobs.
The poem zone.
If that's not the most fucking just cringy ass like video game lingo ever. Anytime someone says poning or noob, I'm like, oh, you're fucking 35.
Dude, that is a good. I think saying pwned ironically is funny.
I mean, yes,
I don't-
but if you say
I
it
don't- I don't-
legitimately, you're the type liable to say "milady" and tip your fedora. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you definitely got a fedora on if you're
If it's
saying something
unironic-
legitimately.
Yeah, you're liable to do some fuck shit like that.
That's interesting.
I can have cheeseburger. Epic moment.
Ermagerd.
Woman moment.
No, people say that
Baby.
now, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
MF still uses rage phases unironically.
Dude, I will
That's
swear by
literally
I will swear by rage phases until I die, dude. All right, that is the best. That's just the best.
Yeah,
I
but
grew up on those, dude.
hashtag iFunny.
Redditor moment.
I used to play Rage Wars, which was like an iPod 4 game where there's just like they're all like their heads are all on stick figures or something, and they just like
bro.
run around with like an AK-47 and just like shoot it.
My homies were on that fucking Temple Run, Where's My Water jelly car grind, you know?
Oh, dude, the Jelly Car
never played
2,
Jelly Car.
3, and 1, bro. So
Bro,
good.
I triple ducked Where's My Water.
Oh, I love
every
that
level,
game,
every
too.
bonus level, triple ducked.
Dude, that
shit.
game was.
You remember when we
660.
found Amazing Breaker?
Yes.
That game was fun as hell.
Hell yeah, amazing.
Wait, let me
break,
look that up.
shit.
real quick.
I feel like that was a bit of a hidden gem.
It was like not enough people knew about Amazing Breaker. That
Yeah.
shit was sick as fuck.
I
Until my
played.
iPod freaked out, and then it would spam all like 37 balls
I
at
actually
one
did
time
that.
sometimes because the
I remember
screen
that.
was kind of fucked.
Wait, no.
I
That
miss
was
games like this.
that was different. I'm talking about the game where you like blow up the ice sculptures.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
But I know what you're
Breaker was
talking
the,
about.
Like slingshot with the yeah. Okay.
You guys ever
Fuck,
played
what was
Doodle
that one
God?
called? Doodle
what?
God? I don't know. Doodle Jump. I was all about.
Doodle Jump. Doodle God was really fun too.
I feel like
that
Doodle
game.
Jump was the beginning of the downfall of society. That was like everyone with an
why.
iPhone at every lunch. Everyone was just on their phones. That was like the real start of that.
That was like the
Slowly
fun
took
part.
over.
That was like the fun part of.
Well, right, but looking back historically, that's like where the point where it's like, oh yeah, society is fundamentally changed by smartphones. We are poisoned.
I don't know. Cut the rope.
Jetpack
also had-
Joyride.
Dude, cut the Jetpack
Jetpack
Joyride.
Joyride.
Cut the rope was
Fruit
sick as
Ninja.
shit too.
Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja was really good. I had every blade in the original Fruit Ninja.
I also grinded. I remember there was one
Angry
that was
Birds
like.
1 played the shit out of that. I hated
Oh, yeah,
Angry
yeah.
Birds 2 when it came out.
I remember there was one achievement in Fruit Ninja where you had to play a game at like 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. called like Early Bird. And I swear I like stayed up and like acted like I needed to go downstairs for some reason to like talk to my dad, and then he was just asleep, and I just like played a game on my phone. I was like, let's
the
go. It was funny.
Let's go. I got the night owl achievement.
I got that
literally.
Oh, no, you said it was
Center
Early Bird.
achievement. You know I did.
Oh, dude, I
Fucking
grinded
Game
so
Center.
many Game Center
Yeah.
points. Oh, I
Man, what
miss
a
it.
fucking throwback. Today's kids don't know. They're out here wanting to kill themselves because of social media. You know, we had the good days. Social media for us was posting fucking a Sprite bottle with a vignette filter, and I was like, oh, just hashtag sick days.
This shit
on
was
fucking
delicious.
2013 Instagram.
You guys
Oh,
had that
even earlier.
McDonald's, Brett?
My first ever post on Instagram was a picture of Sprite. That legitimately was my first picture.
That's
The
hilarious.
vignette filter.
Might
Yeah,
have to
now
look that
kids
up.
are. Dude, I could not imagine being like a middle schooler or a high schooler with like the insane like body and life standards of like influencer culture. That's got to be just
Social pressure.
like
Yeah.
so fucking stressful. I could not imagine that shit.
Yeah, that's probably good for your subconscious.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, we're definitely not. You know. In the fuck around before the find out stage of social media and terminal online
That's
or
just
anything.
that's just literally all of modern culture, and then,
I don't
and
sit
then
there
like
some days and
we
go,
just-
man, I hate that I just spent 3 hours on social media.
we just keep finding out, and we're like, oh man, we really fucked around a lot.
I actually don't have
I
that
can't
30 years
imagine
ago.
being like a
kind of thing towards social media yet. Like I feel like even if I do it a lot, I never feel bad about using it a lot.
I love it.
I definitely have that. I have. It's just because inevitably after like half an hour, I just get to the section where I'm like, bro, you guys need to log off. You guys do not live in a real world. Like, the
Maybe
people-
yeah.
Me, I only spend 3 hours a day on social media.
A nice microcosm of that would be like the people. Siri thought I said something.
The hell?
the whole thing, like, where people are like, oh, Sydney Sweeney's parents might be Trump supporters. We have to cancel her. I'm like, log off, bro.
Well,
like, touch grass.
Like you said, might be. Her dad was wearing a Blue Lives Matter shirt.
Right, but people are like,
well, no, I was talking to the tweeters.
Oh yeah. But like people in the comments of shit where the people were like, you can't be serious. And they were like, dude, if my wife suddenly supported Trump, I would divorce her immediately. And I'm like, no, you like log off, bro. You do not live in our real world.
I feel like you probably wouldn't, but also, why would your wife do that?
It's like insane behavior. Where I'm like,
yeah, that is kind of making up
grass.
stuff.
Like touch grass was a funny meme at first. Now I say that in my head constantly when I reach it. I'm like, y'all need to log off and like live in the real world.
They literally need to breathe fresh air.
Like just the people who like put every single thing into a category on the internet where they're like, it's kind of fucked up that you left out this subset of people, like 27 divisions. I'm like, bro, like, it's just like, I don't know.
Listen, folks, Jamie has had enough of this woke PC culture.
Not that. No, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. But it's like the same thing that people are like.
There's I don't want to say there's a line, but there's kind of a point where there's not a line. There's just a point where you have to like kind of have the good faith and like know that someone's intention wasn't to be like shitting on you.
Yeah. It's like there's a point where like you step beyond like reasonableness.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And like it's the same thing where like you look at like the weirdly alt-right side of like politics in America, and people are like, they have 3 jokes, right? Like, how many genders I identify as a helicopter and whatever else, like dumb fuck shit. And it's the same flavor of that level of like brain rot, but like in the other direction. Yeah. Where it's like, if your parents support someone who sucks, you're a piece of shit. Like it's like that kind of. It's like that's not how life works. There's no nuance to anything. Like there's
as
no
a celebrity,
nuance in any takes.
You should manipulate your parents and
bro,
pay them money to wear the right clothes.
It's all just like echo chamber brain rot. Like just log off, man. Just log off. And like now you have shit like the metaverse. People want to live like the people in WALL-E so fucking bad, it seems like. And I just sit idly and I'm like, you don't see the problem here? You'd rather live in a PS2 graphics world than like go outside, you know?
See the Grand Canyon?
I don't know, man. I just yeah. There's a point where you just like become like what the fuck are you saying? Do you not like think? I mean, no, you don't think critically, because if so, it would have at some point your brain would have said, hey, maybe this isn't a just real thing to say.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's people are scared of life, and it comes out in the form of like I have to put everything in these little boxes. Chaos is scary.
240 characters. Speaking of WALL-E World, not a song on this album, but on the song Total Entertainment Forever off of Pure Comedy, he basically ends the song like that, saying like I think he says, when the authorities find us, we'll be in our homes, plugged into our hubs, skin and bone. And and then he says like something about how this must have been a wonderful place. Like and the song is about like plugging into a virtual world and giving up like your real life. So yeah.
I mean,
there you go.
Yes,
that's WALL-E.
Like,
yeah,
this ties back into where we were talking about like everyone who's kind of up and up with the world events has to be a little bit depressed, right?
Yeah.
Because
I think if I
I
think if I drank a bottle of wine and watched WALL-E, I would probably be bawling by the end of it. I would probably.
That's what we should do next time I'm in town. We should just get drunk and watch WALL-E. Goddamn.
WALL-E.
I want to rewatch that movie, but I don't think I could bring myself to do it because I think it would put me in too much of a despairing state.
Eve would show up on screen, and I would have happy tears, and then by the end of the movie, I would see like the first fat guy in the chair, and I'd be like, oh my god.
Oh no!
It's like,
this is gonna be us in 50 years.
It's like if you were to watch Click now.
Oh no, dude! I watched Click recently. Click is still sad as hell, dude.
Yeah, dude. That movie
He had
had
no
me
right.
straight up streaming,
Dude.
like tears were streaming down my face when I watched it on my iPod on the drive to my grandma's house one.
Dude,
like
I
year.
talked about
I was
that
watching it on
with
my
someone
fucking
recently.
iPod, and I was just in the back, just fucking crying, like in the back.
That
of the
shit
movie.
was,
just tears
dude,
streaming
he's in
down
the
my eyes.
fucking rain, just
That
like
shit is
watching his
so
family like
sad.
look like walk away. I'm like, bro.
And then having like a heart attack in the fucking rain. Yeah, dude, that shit
Oh,
is so
dude.
goddamn sad.
Dude, it's so sad.
You guys should watch Barry if you want to see Henry Winkler act very well again.
Okay,
I love Henry Winkler. He's always a highlight in any role for me.
a Winkler in time.
I read that book in AIG in fucking as a child. I didn't get it.
Oh, I read that in
Oh, you too are a gifted child. Interesting.
Oh yes, the gifted child to depressed adult pipeline or whatever
Oh
the
yes,
fuck.
the gifted child burnout community. Yes, I'm a member of that. Oh man,
It's funny, dude.
We say we're in a burnout era. We're literally engineers.
yeah.
literally
We're all
working.
engineers making relatively decent money.
But we're not those try hard engineers. So
Hey, yo, we're
Not
the
at
cool
all.
engineers. Who,
Not
cool
at
ones.
all. I
The
should
cool
probably
ones.
try harder.
Yeah,
to
we're
be
the-
honest.
we're
the funniest fucking shit was the other day. Vic got one of those, you know, like the if you have the little like photo widget on your iPhone, it'll just like suggest shit from like
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago or whatever. And it suggested one from like 2013, like peak lockdown pandemic, and she was like, "Yeah, in this picture, you look like you work in software." And I was like, "Yeah." Now I don't. Now
Damn,
I'm
babe.
just
Chill.
I got rid of like the neck beard, like the
No,
gross
I feel like-
trial beard, and I lost
I
a
feel
lot
like-
of that weight. I was easily 20 pounds heavier. in that
I feel like
picture.
you do still look like you work in software, but like the cool side of software.
Right, exactly.
you
Yeah.
know?
Now I'm like, now I look like I work in like the neat side of software. I'm not like
Yeah.
I'm not like Discord mod Reddit user side of software. You know.
Thank God.
Yeah. But she was like, "See, in this picture, you look like you work in software." I'm like, "Thank God I don't look like that anymore." I don't know. If it works for you, it works for you. But
Thank you, my wife, for keeping me humble.
No, I appreciate it because I had the same thought. But yeah, that shit was just so funny to me. Where I was like, "Oh, oof."
Always reassuring when your significant other isn't they really are telling you like it is. It's not sycophantic. They're like
Exactly. You don't want a
they're like-
sycophant. You want someone who's gonna make you better. You know,
like hey,
iron
like,
sharpens
maybe-
iron, bro.
Yeah, but they're not like hey. It's
Yeah,
not like
but
at the
it's-
moment they're like
right.
hey, you look like shit.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not. It's
like
not negative.
hey, what do you think about like what do you-
emotional
I've been
abuse kind of shit?
yeah, it's like I've been thinking about working out a little more. Do you want to go with me? And then 4 months later, it's like, aren't you happy we started working out? Oh man. So hang out at the gallows.
It's good
A funny play on words. Because he's talking
because
about
you get hung at the gallows.
yeah, because that's what happens at the gallows. But also,
I actually didn't know that.
yeah,
I actually didn't catch that.
yeah. I like honestly, I didn't think of it either until I was reading like the lyrics and synopses and stuff, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Jaleel,
But yeah, there's a couple references to suicide on this album.
Oh.
And yeah, and he kind of hints at it in this opening track, where he's talking about the chorus is, what's your politics, what's your religion, what's your intake, what's your reason for living, and yeah, it's like him meditating on like, what is my reason to keep going, because I think he was,
Meditation, no breathing.
he's very at this time in his life and like throughout his whole life, he's just been very dissatisfied with like the state of the world, and also like kind of with his own state in the industry, and not like his status of success, but like I think like the nature of being a celebrity. He's been quoted as saying it's like the notion of like being a celebrity is like is just like, it's just like the smell of hot garbage. Like it's he just like hates it so much, but it's like just where he's found himself in, like because
He's found
Like,
success in his respective niche
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
he feels like he needs to be an artist and feels like he needs to write and like produce things, and he's just become successful, and like this is what the culture makes you when you're like able to make money.
And like, is all
live
his
and be kinda
music like
famous.
sad like this, Nick, or is this kind of like a album specific type?
No, it's pretty sad.
a lot of it isn't quite as directly sad as this, but if you dig past like some of the metaphors and stuff, you're like, oh wow, like he's really sad.
Yeah, I wouldn't
But,
say it necessarily has the same. Like this one sounds and lyrically is sad.
And
I would say
very
more
like
so.
very
The other
like
ones don't-
introspectively sad.
Yeah,
This
the
one
other
is.
stuff I've listened to him, like I said, mostly from pure comedy. It doesn't sound as sad, but if you like look at what is being said, it's like, oh damn, this is like heavy lyricism.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I Love You Honey Bear, that album definitely has some sad songs on it, but it has some really like it has like a really upbeat song that I was actually like telling my girlfriend that I thought you would probably like, Jordan, and after it's called True Affection. I'll send it after the pod, but like he's got some sweet songs on there. Like the last one is called I Went to the Store One Day, and it's him talking about his new relationship with, I think he had married his wife by then. If not, they were together for a little bit. And it's him talking about the evolution of their relationship and meeting her.
Okay.
And like the first song, the title song is I Love You Honey Bear, and nothing in it is too sad. Like he's kind of talking about like the act of loving this other person while the world is like burning down around you, but it's like the like thing you care about, and it's like
Yeah.
the thing that you
hauntingly
choose to focus
familiar.
on. Yeah. And the last song on Pure Comedy is like one of my favorite songs by him. It's called In 20 Years or So, and the first probably half of the song is him like talking about like the despair and the state of the world, and then the last verse of the song is him just talking about being like out for dinner with his wife and talking about how like perfect and beautiful of a situation it is, and like how can everything be worthless, like how can you be nihilistic when some things make you feel like this, like when there is like you can't be numb and gray the whole time when you know that you have these like beautiful moments of feeling and emotion. Like he says like I look at you and our second drinks arrive, the piano player's playing This Must Be the Place, and it's a miracle to be alive. Like and he's just commenting on the fact that like for once everything feels okay. And like I'm a little intoxicated. Like I'm like sure, like you can call it escapism if you want, if you're like that negative about like if you're that like skeptical and like clinical about your observations on things, but like why? Like you need
At a certain point, escapism is just what it's like to be alive. You know,
exactly. It's like you can't focus on all the negative. Like you have to,
because I mean, the
it's
thing
not
is,
escaping. It's just living.
Yeah, as people, we've gotten to the point where, by and large, I mean, there's still many, 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 many systemic issues globally and nationally. But like, for the most part, if you're at a point where you've covered the basic needs of shelter, food, and water, like, that's kind of what we evolved as animals to do. And so once you cover those bases, it's like, what do you do? And that's not really escapism. That's just kind of like when you get to the question mark where you're like, oh, I've kind of made it.
I've met all my
Now
needs. What
what?
do I want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Person, we made it.
So then you start living off of wants instead of needs. And then it's like, is it escapism? I mean, maybe because you're kind of ignoring the world's problems. But if you only live thinking about the world's problems, you're going to die a depressed person who hasn't lived. And then what's the point? I mean, not to say kill yourself. And that's not the solution I would come to there with that equation. But the equation I would
stop
run
thinking that
is,
negatively.
then how do you live and like truly live within like bounds? You know, like I wouldn't say, I don't take
How
the
do you live
nihilistic
in
approach.
capitalism?
I wouldn't say that I also wouldn't say that I fully take the I literally tried to think of this word forever ago and then couldn't think of it. Hedonistic. I wouldn't say you live in like a hedonistic way either, where you only live for pleasure. But I mean, at a certain
That's
point,
me for real right now, buddy.
like there's somewhere where you have to strike a balance, where like a reasonable level of like oh my God, not like that, but like an egoistic or hedonistic tendencies. You have to live like life a little bit for yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're the one who's going to die at the end of your life, so like live it how you're gonna. Within a reason.
It's not even hedonistic, bro. That's just nasty what you said.
Yeah, well, Jordan's just fucking
Who, me?
disgusting. Yeah, fuck you.
I didn't say anything.
But
oh yeah, my fault. Yep.
Oh, yeah, Jordan
just mute his track for a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, like you just have to. Like, is it escapism? Maybe, but is escapism also like a weirdly clinical way to describe? Sometimes just living, like unless you're directly running from unresolved trauma, that's escapism. But if it's just regular living, it's just
being too hard on yourself.
That's just being a human. Like life is not. You have to make life worth being a part of at some point. And if you're fully plagued at all times by like, oh well, there's this problem, I can't enjoy anything because of this. It's like, you have to have reasonable levels of like, oh. I have to make life worth something, you know?
Yeah. And I think that honestly seems like obviously I don't know because I I was saying like he likes to blend the real and the artificial of like things that he sings about in his lyrics, whether they actually happen to him or if he's just making them up. But like it seems like that's the revelation that he comes to. Like he seems like a relatively normal guy who has like a decently educated outlook on the world, even though it may be gloomy, and like, but even though he seems like a normal guy, I think like just singing about all those things from his first 3 albums probably just ate at him and eventually wore him down to the point where on this album he recorded the time period where he was actually at his lowest, and he felt like that world was kind of crashing down on him, like the reality of like the bleakness of the world made it seem like nothing mattered, and I don't really know what got him out of that space. It might just be the revelation at the end of that last album where he was talking about like the good temporary feelings, or not like Jamie was saying, not from like hedonistic things, but like just from like the good feelings of general living life with someone that you love, or like or it could be just from like living a less like substance abuse driven lifestyle, because I know he was like a huge partier and like
really
like tons of people have stories about him just because he was all over the place. Like it's almost like if you've been in LA, like you've met Father John Misty like at a party.
Wait, really?
That's kind of what that's kind of what it seems like. Is like was like just like all over the place, like hanging out with whoever. Like I know like the podcast I used to listen to all the time. Yeah, but still, like I think I'm not sure if Jack Wagner met him or if he had a like really close friend who just got in an Uber with like a group of guys who was like going to some party somewhere, and Father John Misty was just in the Uber with him. And he was like, wait, what?
Wait, okay, I know he's really sad now, but like that sounds like a really fun life. I'm not gonna lie,
but I think he was doing that to escape.
Oh,
like,
you're right.
Yeah,
that's not well.
It's like everything.
That's not really. Yeah, I don't think that's really like your thought process behind like going out and partying and having fun. You're just doing it to literally like have fun because you really enjoy those high energy environments.
Feedback loop, okay? You have to like do your life event, and then you have to be like, okay, what is my motivation for doing this? And if it's, a negative motivation, you act accordingly. And if it's like, oh, like for you, Jordan, it's more like, oh, this is how I get like personal enjoyment. I'm not like running from X, Y, or Z. And then you're like,
I didn't even think about it like that. I was like, who would?
You were just like, damn, he's having a lot of fun.
I'm like, when I'm sad, I stay home. When I'm happy, I go out. When he's
Which is a
sad.
good thing
He
because
goes out.
that
When he's
more
happy, he goes out.
that most likely means that you're going out and partying not to escape being sad, but rather you feel like you're in a good mood, which is a better motivation.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it means
but
you're not turning to substances, you're just enhancing life.
Yeah.
kind of, which is like a different way to think about it, I guess.
And I guess we don't really need to conjecture on like his personal state too much. We kind of just need to talk about the music. But I think he's in a better state now. He seems
Ain't it like most people.
What, like Maryland?
no,
Maryland is not
like
where
away
you
from Maryland.
Wait, I thought you said he was in Cali.
He's in Cali for sure. But he's on tour right now, and I'm gonna see him in October.
Where at?
Deepak.
Oh, nice.
No, you're not. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to see him in October.
My fault.
Ain't
Yep.
it
Sorry.
like most people, I'm no
Sorry, Josh.
different. We love to talk
Sorry,
on things we don't know about.
Baby, like them northern turnip.
That album is the album I was listening to whenever my first car died on the side of 421, and it may have been caused by a ghost near Shallowford Farm Road.
Oh, did you listen to
Slight figure of speech.
No,
I cut my
off
chest
of,
wide open. Watch a
January
bleed.
Wedding at the time off of I and Loving You. Banger of an album, but I can't choose
Heard that
one.
song
That's
live,
gotta
by the
be- We got to get David on for that album. Sometime.
Flex? I've seen the Avett Brothers live.
I have
Flex.
too.
Flex.
Guess we're both fans.
We are.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
say
a
I'm
big
probably
fan.
more of a fan, but yeah.
No, don't think.
Oh, really? Who had
I would say
Emotionalism
that.
in their top 10 albums of all time?
I
Yeah,
think
me
it was
too.
Jordan actually.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Jordan said, yo, I fucking love the Ballad of Love and Hate. You know?
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Episode 62, if you would like to listen to our top 10 albums of all time. Listener.
Yeah,
As
go
of
for it.
Whenever 2021. We're going to have to do another one. Well, I guess it won't be this year because we're probably going to be doing another guest season, listener.
This is a certified guest season.
Gotta put out some feelers. I never sent that message, did I? Nope.
This is a certified guest season.
Beautiful. So yeah, Please Don't Die is one of my favorite songs on the album, but
I actually did like that song a lot too.
yeah, nice. It's definitely like once you dive into the lyrics, it's probably literally one of the saddest because it's like his wife pleading with him. Well, it's him thinking about suicide, and then the chorus sounds like it's a plea from his wife, like about like her asking him not to commit suicide. But yeah, and the music videos, like I can't remember if it's animated or if it's claymation, but it just looks so like goofy compared to like the substance matter of what's happening. But yeah, I do really love the instrumentation, the piano driven ballad of it all, the higher energy of it. I do really enjoy it. It starts on that like weird off kilter piano note.
One more wasted morning when I could be holding you to my side. Somebody stop this joyless joyride. I'm feeling older than my 35.
But
It looks like claymation.
yeah, I hadn't watched it in a while. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, no, it's
And,
definitely claymation. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the little falsetto he does in the chorus, and the "You're All That I Have" is really great. The way he belts that out. Yeah. And right after that is The Palace that we talked about. I thought for a while the album was about his wife separating from him, but it sounds more like when you really dig into a lot of the songs that he just like couldn't handle the marriage at that time, and because of the end of that song,
wow.
he says I texted your iPhone and said I think it's time like for me to come home or something along those lines.
Yeah, and that definitely leads you to where you think it's like, oh, this person has stepped away and they're saying they're ready to come back should the other party accept them.
Yeah.
I definitely got that vibe from it because and looking a little bit more from a standpoint of this is a person really going through like depressive episodes and shit. The tendency of that would be to, push away,
resign yourself. Yeah,
right, exactly. And so it definitely makes sense to like, self-isolate and then be like, okay, fuck, I think I'm, I'm ready to accept this back in and shit like that. So that it definitely makes sense, I think.
Yeah. Especially like looking at it from that broader standpoint. And I think Disappointing Diamonds Are Forever. I think that's one he still plays at a bunch of his shows. He plays a fair amount of all of his music from all of his albums at every concert.
Oh damn!
Like looking at the
how long are his concerts?
Huh?
How long are his concerts?
I think they're relatively long. They're not like 3 hours or anything, but
I was about to say this man just playing his whole discography like up there.
I really like that about Jason Isbell. Also does the same thing.
Yeah,
like you'll see shit from like early albums and like some Trucker stuff and some of his more recent. Like that's what I like about his band too. They play a lot of their shit.
Yeah, and like the one time I saw Dawes live. I think they remarked on that. They said like thank you guys for like being such great fans. Like we love being able to be a band that can come out here and play any song like from our discography that we want to play, and like
right, not just like
you guys
to
receive
play
it
from the new album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you love to see.
But yeah,
the real ones know. Which is funny because like when we saw the Monkees, we were not. I don't think me, you, or Vic were at the time. We weren't ready to receive Tranquility Base for what it is. So we were like, please play old shit.
And now it's probably one of my favaites. Like I really love
that
it.
and AM are like my favorite albums by them for sure.
that new single is fantastic.
Dude, I know. I cannot wait.
Dude, I love it, man. I love it. Just like the chord progression in it, dude, is like, I just want to.
Yeah, you
walk me out to the car.
It gives me a little with the start of it. It's a little like bat phone type vibes from it,
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, me and Vic were after partaking in some jazz cabbage, we're trying to dissect the lyrics. And god damn, man, like Alex Turner's just. I feel like he flipped a switch where he just got cryptic with his shit. Like Tranquility Base, so much of that shit is so fun to look at the lyrics because you're like, I feel like he's saying something and nothing at the same time. I don't know what this shit's going on.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of that album feels like he's just remarking on like fame and like culture.
It's just a slew of consciousness.
Yeah, and like, but
I
was
it
a
all little too wild in the 70s. Easy money. Like,
it all seems like it's like
born in 1996. Like,
wait, was he?
His 30th birthday was. He got the piano for his 30th birthday, and then Tranquility was spawned from that. Piano.
Yeah, and I think I read that was in 2016.
Yeah, so that would mathematically
so he's 36
that would be
now.
86, right? 1986, not 96.
86.
Yeah,
I was like, there's no way he's 2 years older.
No.
than me.
My bad. But they started when they were young, because he was born in 86, and they played their first ever like abandoned garage show in the UK, like in England, wherever they're from, in like 1999 or some shit. So they were like 15 or 16 when they started. Yeah. The Monkees have been doing it for a long time, which is crazy.
Yeah. And they've really, they've evolved a lot, especially with
Tranquility. It was so fucking funny going on that tour, and we were just like trying to listen to the album to get hyped for it, and we were like, man, that's kind of boring. And now I'm like, I love that shit.
And
I love that album.
they only played like 4 songs from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
played
now,
like
I love that new single and the new album.
yeah. I think they played Star Treatment, 1 Point Perspective,
4 stars
American
out of
Sports, and 4 out of 5. Yeah, and they probably played Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino.
I would assume so. Yeah. You know the hits from the album.
Yeah. I wish I could have heard the Ultra Cheese. They have
Great into an album. We'll have to cover that album sometime, but I don't think we can do it without Vic. I've been told.
I'm gonna do that album without Vic. I'm gonna pick it.
Jordan,
Just Jordan.
I would be interested to get your take on that album.
Yeah, Jordan, I want you to pick it. That would be really fun. But yeah. Some of my favorite twisted metaphors are in "Disappointing Diamonds Are Forever" when he says,
It was a good one too. I like that one a lot.
Like a pervert's gaze on a bus, the glare of love lays down on us, I think. Like a carcass out in the heat, this love is bursting out of me. Okay, dude.
Because when carcasses are in the sun, they get a bunch of gas on them, and then they kind of.
Oh, the song is "Disappointing Diamonds Are the Rarest of Them All." That's
I was gonna say.
I think the name's a little different, but
yeah.
What did you say? You said Disappointing Diamonds.
I was saying "Forever," but
yeah, I was like that definitely says rarest, but I'm not gonna.
Disappointing Diamonds
on
are
a
a girl's
roll
best
right
friend.
now.
Every kiss begins with K.
Disappointing Diamonds from Sierra Leone.
Oh
shit!
The crossover we didn't know we needed.
Sorry.
Father John Misty has writing credits on a Beyonce song.
Single ladies.
No,
It was something from Lemonade, but I don't know what it was.
Fuck. It was the one that oh god.
Is it was it like the country song kind of?
Cole Bennett talked about this.
Wait, what?
Not
Cole Bennett talking about it.
Cole Cushner. I'm sorry.
Cole Bennett talking about what? Yo, I've talked about Cole Bennett so much that Jamie
It's
is now
literally
confusing.
poisoned my mind.
Dude,
It's
I'm
crazy.
so. Let's go. I never thought this day would come. I'm gonna be honest, but
That's so funny.
that is really funny. It doesn't matter the Beyonce song, but
I saw a TikTok about it, and apparently, like Diplo and Ezra Koenig like recorded some old sample, and they were the ones who originally spawned like the inspiration for the song, so they have writing credits on it too. I don't know. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah,
But,
no, I think I saw that same TikTok, and that account is insane. I love it.
Yeah.
Explain that niche credit basically is their whole thing. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I've just got brief stuff to say about the rest of the songs. Like
Pop Off King.
I think God's Favorite Customer really might be my favorite song, and it's just like
It's really good. It's very good.
Yeah, it's so mellow but it's still really introspective and really deep, and it's not too sad, and the music video is really funny because it's just him very. He looks more hungover than he does like under the influence of something, and
Really?
he's like walking down the street, and it's like him walking down the street for like 2 minutes, and then there's like this memorial on the side on like this storefront for it's like someone's grave like that people have been laying flowers out at, and he picks up like a bushel of roses like from the memorial and just keeps walking like he's gonna take them and give them to someone. And that's pretty much the whole video. Like at the end, he stops and like looks at a guy across the street, and the camera starts like doing this weird motion, and then it shows where he was, and he's not there, and it points up in the sky, and he's like flying away in the sky. That's the whole music video. And his wife directed that one, but it's a really simple, just funny music video. But yeah, like. I saw someone, I read someone, they put it in the light of like him, man, you guys were about to hit me with the script line, praying to a God that he don't believe in.
Praying to a God
God that I don't believe in.
what's the next
I
line?
got time, she got freedom.
No, that's not it. Fuck, dude, I listened to this song
when it hot.
so much.
It's
when I was
break
younger.
even.
Yeah, I mean it's break
Yeah.
even by the script.
When hot. breaks, don't break
even.
even. Oh, what am I supposed to do? The best part of me is
What am I supposed to do? Fuck, dude, I'm literally so mad that I don't know what the next fucking line is.
What?
Dude, Nick literally said it, dude.
Because I got time while she's
Maybe
got...
maybe they're thinking of a different part, because I think
Did
they
you say
changed
freedom?
it up some.
I got time while she got...
Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking of. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. But that's like literally what he's doing. Like he's lost faith a long time ago, but he just keeps meditating on the fact that he's like he's always talking to God when he can't sleep or honestly not always, but he's like pleading.
So he's
with,
religious.
Like, well, no, but like he's not, but like he's just so desperate that he's trying to figure out like a way to keep going, and that's why he's God's favorite.
I feel like there's another song.
So that just happened.
Or a quote that's like that. Like everyone believes in God when you're about to die or some shit like that.
Yeah.
The bar closes
Sure
at 5, but the big man's just opening.
I'm out here testing the maxim that all good things have to stop. The bar closes at 5, but the big man is just opening shop.
Monkey.
Almost like the song Neon Cathedral by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis off of The Heist.
He brought it back.
God.
Let's
Bro,
go.
I have to choose that album because you guys have to like listen to it and understand that they make good, thoughtful music. But if you only know Thrift Shop or shit off fucking Marmaduke, what was it? Marmalade? Was that the album?
Marmalade's a song wait, are you shitting on that album after being a Macklemore fan?
I don't really like that album, yeah. Now, granted, I haven't listened to it in a while. Like
Marmalade is a
since it
good
first came out.
that is the first song I listened to like 40 times in a row because the song was so good.
Maybe I gotta check out Marmalade, but I was
Paint dripping like I'm whipping marmalade. Dude, that song is so good.
After we finish recording, I'll check out Marmalade.
That's me with the new Arctic Monkeys single.
More albums.
Just rinsing and rinsing and rinsing.
Dude.
Oh, Gemini. That's what it is.
The Heist is goated.
Ain't Gonna Die Tonight is good too. Glorious is pretty good.
Is goated as well.
Dude, I used to actually listen to this album a decent amount. Not all of it, but some of it. Someone's pretty good.
I think I just heard
Good old
Marmalade
days.
and I heard Yachty on it.
I wish
was like,
somebody
oh, man.
would have told me, babe. Someday these will be the good. You don't like that song either?
I don't know. I haven't checked it out and since it came out and I didn't like it. I haven't tried it again.
Dude, they have Little Yachty on Marmalade. That song was so good. Anyway,
Oh,
sorry.
like Minnesota.
The album is.
I listened to that song
Gemini.
today too. I listened to that. I was like,
Check
yo,
it out.
Minnesota
Check
came
out
out of the car?
fucking Gemini. Check it out.
Minnesota is a fantastic song.
The Lil Yachty remix of Breathe Deeper by Tame Impala. That shit hits.
I still haven't come around to it like you and Austin have. I still haven't come
shit is
around to
hitting.
it.
But yeah.
Fuck it. Maybe I'll pick The Heist for next week.
You could. God's Favorite Customer followed up with the songwriter. Very, very deep and scathing analysis of his own career. Talking about his own wife. Very, very surprising and somewhat hard to listen to your first few times listening to it. But very interesting for him to think about those things and put them into words and try and articulate those feelings. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think yeah. I mean, it's a good song, but it's hard to listen to the first couple times once you pick up what he's really putting down. But but the last song
I mean, it's like
got a really long title.
Or just, I was going to say, like, it's interesting because, you sometimes think about that where you're like, if you have this, a muse in your life or whatever, and then you do like lots of creative things that are inspired by that, like if they don't listen to a lot of your work or aren't like, don't give you the go ahead before a lot of shit, like, it's a weird position to be in where you could say a bunch of shit and they're like, I didn't like how you kind of put that out to like in mass. If it's something that really blows up, like it's a weird, like give it, like if you're a romance writer, but you've been married for 25 years and by and large you seem faithful, then everyone's like, oh, you're clearly talking about fucking this person who we've seen with you at red carpet events.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird, that's the lines that always resonate with me in the second verse. What would it sound like if you were the songwriter and you did your living around me? Would you undress me repeatedly in public? As in like when I talk about, in my songs about like fucking or something, like you clearly are the target of this description to show how very noble and naked you can be. It's like a very interesting, like, how perception and words influence like relationships and things like that.
He's almost like taking the worst faith the worst faith like reception of like his lyrics and like and using them like as the mindset that he's singing about in the song and saying like would like the fact that like I'm talking about like having sex with you in these songs makes me look vulnerable, and he's like talking about just the, I feel like toxicity is too general of a word to describe that situation, just like the paradoxical, like strange, very specific nature of that relationship problem. Like not many people have that issue, and he's like describing it, and like just as a person you're like, oh yeah, that sounds like fucking weird, like from the outset, like that sounds like something you would definitely have a couple conversations about. But and I it didn't really sink in with me until I was listening to it this week. But in that first verse where he says what would it sound like if you were the songwriter and you made your living off of me? Would you detail your near constant consternation with the way my very presence makes your muses up and flee? And that's a bit of a complicated way to say, like, it to me, the way I interpret it is like he's saying that like her showing up when he's trying to write makes him like come into this space of writer's block and he can't really think of anything. And like it's like it's just, like it's harsh, but I guess it happens. But
what would it sound like if you were the songwriter and you made your living off of me? Would you detail your near constant consternation with the way my very presence makes your muses up and flee?
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like the people who are like, they have two beds, not in like a we hate each other way, but in like a I sleep better if there's not someone like sweating next to me. Like I get objectively better sleep. You hear about that? And on the outside, like, because for me, it's like, oh, well, there's no like, like cuddling and shit. But it's like, it's people. I feel like that's the more objective approaches where it's like, honestly, it's like we get better sleep and it makes the rest of life easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm not really doing this song justice with my discussion of it. But
I know, right?
But yeah, like I feel like you get the point once you listen to it 2 or 3 times. You're like, oh, like he's being very critical of himself, like critical to a point where you almost like, where for me, where I can relate to someone being that critical of themselves and like having bad faith takes about the way that they live, and then voicing those like thoughts to someone, and they're like what, like, why do you think that about yourself? Like, that's so harsh. Like no one else thinks of you that way, like as just a normal person. And you're like, oh shit, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't like live in my head. Maybe like
maybe it's a bad thing up there.
Maybe suffering in silence is a bad thing.
Dude, I actually like kind of living in my head sometimes. Like sometimes I feel like I'm like okay, it goes back and forth. Like sometimes I feel like I'm like it motivates me, but also like hinders me, I guess, at some point. Like I'm a very extrinsically motivated person. So like I like doing stuff out, you know, like I like competition to achieve goals sometimes, or like if someone's like, hey, do this thing, and I'm like, man, I don't really care. But then like if someone's like, hey, I can beat you at this thing, then that's when I'm like, oh, I can do this now,
no,
you know?
Yeah.
Which isn't like it's not like bad or good, because it comes off in like different ways too. Like it makes me like go out more. It makes me like, I think that's why I'm such like a people person also, is because like I like the challenge of meeting new people, and like just, and it's not like challenge is a bad word. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I crumble under pressure in that regard.
Really? But see, until
I've drank like half a beer, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to everybody.
No, I got you. But like, even like when I'm trying to like work out or like do laundry or like do whatever, I literally,
Speaking
I wash my sheets.
Your closet is closed. I assume things got hung up in there. So that's.
No, there's still a bunch of stuff on the floor. That's what I'm saying. I haven't like.
At least the door is not just left ajar like last time. You know?
Yeah, no,
that's growth.
We're good. But like, I literally washed my sheets, right?
Okay.
Put them next to my pillow, and then didn't put them on my bed for a week.
You slept on a raw mattress? I can't do that.
No. I slept on. It's like a mattress cover that's underneath this.
That still feels the same to me.
It's like the same thing, bro.
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like my motivation is like down here sometimes when it comes to like doing stuff for myself. But as soon as I'm pitted against something, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. You know, so I'm trying to like make it to where I'm like,
pit yourself against yourself.
No, that's literally what I started. Like I've been trying to like do like
fight
I'm
your
like,
own
oh,
demons, bro.
No, literally. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it because I'm gonna reveal too much about myself. But
not trying to be too vulnerable.
I think saying you watched BoJack Horseman in a week said all that people needed to know.
Dude, I actually that was maybe like the quickest show I've ever binged. I literally just would wake up,
like on
watch
Monday, you were like, "Yo, I've started BoJack," and then on like Saturday, you were like, "Yo, I finished," and me and Nick were like, "Huh?"
Dude, I literally woke up and just started watching that show, dude.
Oh yeah, you finished the first season? No, the show's done.
You ever just start your day with fucking? It's time to go, BoJack.
Was I a good horse? I'm told you were the worst.
Dude, that shit still fucks me up. Like seeing the memes of like, was I a good boy? I'm told you were the worst.
Yeah.
That, like as a dog owner, that makes me cry.
Or when they did it with like a Minecraft
like,
YouTuber.
I feel I'm on like the verge of tears at all times. I don't know what that's about. But like yesterday, I was riddled with a fever. I was like curled up on my couch in a meeting. And then like after the meeting, I took like a lunch break and I was like watching like TikTok or whatever. And it was just like a very generic, like positive interaction two people had. And I like almost was brought to tears. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, you should have played a America's Got Talent Golden Buzzer.
No, bro, America's Got Talent does not do it for me.
Dude,
America's
those make me cry every time. Those make me cry every time.
Better.
Dude. But there's no golden buzzer on The Voice, dude.
I don't want golden buzzers. I don't want the theatrics.
Dude, the golden,
I just want people. I want
the golden buzzer is amazing though,
right?
because like they have this come up story, and they're like, "You're going to Vegas," and then they do it like slow motion, and then like the people on stage are crying. You're like,
I don't give a shit about your backstory. I'm not here for the backstory. I'm here.
You better sing,
dude. That means you don't care about
to bring me to tears. You know,
but like. You're telling me a backstory sometimes isn't like good. Like say like someone actually like struggled to make it where they are, and like does that not make it more valuable?
Except when it comes to reality TV contest shows, and then I'm just like, I don't care about your backstory. I just want to hear about the song. I just want to hear your voice.
Jordan is saying, what if they made it out the mud? All right.
What if they did? And it's great to like read about that, but
or like their mom died of cancer, and then they like dedicated the rest of their lives to like, dude, sometimes
that hits, but like I want the voice. I want the voice where it's the parents are in the side room.
Roast Jamie in the comments,
cheering
guys.
and watching
Roast Jamie in the
them
comments.
sing to the. But I also don't even watch the shows. I don't watch the competition part where they sing against other people. I only watch blind auditions for the voice. That's
what I'm saying. You should just watch the auditions for America's Got Talent, dude. That's
But then
you need to stop hating.
I like to
You need
watch
to stop
the
hating.
suspense on the judge's face as they decide if they want to turn around or not. You know.
When's the last time you actually watched America's Got Talent, though?
I would get it
like a full clip.
When I was in peak like COVID despair, falling down like voice rabbit holes every other day after ECE 310 lectures, and I would just lay on my couch for 2 hours just staring at my phone on the floor because I wouldn't even put it on the TV. I would just put my phone on the floor and lay on the couch looking at the ground. Yeah, lockdown was really great for me before we got Leo.
Lockdown actually was good for me, though.
Lockdown was horrendous for me. I put on so much weight and my mental health was at an all-time low.
My mental health went back up because I was actually eating right and around people that I loved and not in a dark cell.
Dude, Vic would still have to go to work because she was an essential worker. So there were days where she would be at work like at night and in the evening because that's when she worked. And there were like 72-hour periods where I just wouldn't leave the apartment. And I hated it. I really fucking hated it. I was so just melancholy at all times. Taking my lecture from the kitchen counter that was in the same room that I did my entertainment, which was sitting at my TV 3 feet away. Yeah, no, that was a terrible time for me.
Jamie was off the lean, head spinning, sitting on his couch in his apartment.
Yeah, I mean, it was thankfully it was before I could legally easily purchase alcohol because that probably would have been a bad time. But yeah, no, I would play Warzone and log off, and Vic wouldn't get home for another 3 hours, and I would just sit on the couch and watch YouTube and watch The Voice blind auditions.
Ain't it the life?
So I would get recommended America's Got Talent videos. I'm like, this isn't for me. This format doesn't work for me. I want to see him sing.
Why would you think I want to watch this shit? I want to see The Voice.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, damn, am I a 65-year-old person? Yes.
All right, we should wrap this one up, right?
Yeah, Nick,
Are we
do
done?
you have any?
Yeah,
I mean, that's up to Nick. He's got the notes on this one.
I love the final song, but I don't have anything significant to say about it.
That's the thing. I really
love the way
like
it's put
this
together.
album. My rating is going to be very high, but I didn't have enough time to really write a bunch of concrete notes.
Yeah, he kind of ends the album on one of the like, it's like he's like trying his best to make it a happy ending, and he just can't do it. It's like it's still incredibly bleak. He's like,
the title alone, "We're only people, and there's not much anyone can do about that." Like,
yeah.
Damn.
I do love the line that he says. He says like, let me read it so I don't butcher it. He says, "Oh shit, I'm on the wrong song. Oh god, dead air, no dead air."
I was gonna say I really like the first verse of that song.
Yeah, he says, "We know so little about ourselves, but just enough to want to be nearly anybody else." How does that add up?
Yeah,
and I just think that's really funny, noting that paradox in that parallel way.
Once again, that's what we talked about earlier, where like it'd be a nightmare to grow up on social media and influencer culture. Like,
Yeah.
You know enough about yourself to where you want these things, but yeah, you identify these things falsely in like the materialistic, like outward presence or outward persona that people portray, and you're like, oh, well, I wouldn't be like them, but it's like that person's fucking depressed and addicted to like drugs, and you don't know that, but that's that kind of thing where it all ties back. Yeah. It's weird.
Sure.
It's weird. It's like people who idolize celebrity relationships, and I'm like, bro, you've been like in 4 shitty relationships. Maybe you got to look at your own red flags.
Nope.
Identification for yourself.
Nope. Ben Affleck and J-Lo are perfect. #goals.
Every day I'm increasingly disillusioned by like any sort of like celebrity, not mentor, but like someone you look up to. What is that called? Not idolization either, but like
Role model? No.
Yeah, role model. That's the fucking word I was looking for. Yeah, I don't see how the more I think that people are people, I'm like, I don't get so like
I'm
caring
my own
about
role model. Let's go.
I'm my own role model.
Hey, daddy. Yeah, I'm done. All right. So, So I rate
So now
the
that
album.
we've been broken and disillusioned.
Then Jordan rates the album.
And then
And then
Vince.
Jamie rates the album because he gives next week's pick. So I'm going to give the album. I'm going to give it 9.5.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Respect. Jordan, what about you?
Come on, Jordan.
This is a certified 4.
Hell yeah. I had it right on the nail in my head. I didn't want to say it out loud.
I was about to say the Jordan usual, but then I didn't.
three?
I didn't.
The Jordan usual.
This is a Jordan usual. Jamie.
8.8, I think.
Let's go, baby.
I mean, like I said, I
Let's
really
go.
enjoy this album. I just have a bunch of like concrete notes for it that I really fucked with.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm glad you liked it.
That brings it to an average of 7.43. Shouts out to those of you who did that math in your head. That puts it at 24th overall, tied with Testing by A$AP Rocky.
Hey,
Just below
Stop the fucking
19
okay.
and Daughtry by Adele and Daughtry, respectively.
Ooh, Daughtry is
respectively, not
good.
respectfully. And just above, Carrie and Lowell by Sufjan Stevens.
oh God. Sad
Damn.
shit.
Sad
shit.
dude. Honestly, well, okay. I guess Daughtry and Testing don't really fit into that, but 19
Those other three.
19 God's Favorite Customer and Carrie and Lowell are kind of on the more introspective side of shit. Not so much 19. Never mind. Fuck it. That comparison sucks shit. I'm sorry.
Never mind, guys. I'm wrong and stupid.
But with that, I get to announce next week. So do we want to like continue on the path of introspection? Or do we want to do a different genre of that? I have three.
Bro, it's up to you, dude. It's up to you.
Well, I have three. I have A, B, and C.
3.
Yeah, I've got 3 that I want to do.
Can you
have
describe the
to
moods of the other one, or do we just say different and then you flip a coin?
All right, one of them is Macklemore. One of them is The Heist. Legitimate.
Let's do that. Let's do that one. Let's do that one.
Do you want? Well, okay. The other one would be introspective that Nick would know and Jordan might know, and then the other one I think would be a fresh listen for both of you.
The heist. The heist. The heist.
I'm good with whatever, dude.
All right, then I guess
I
it's
wanna
gonna
be
the-
free.
We're gonna do. Yeah,
I want to just live
inside
inside
my
the Cadillac. That is my
shit. Now
I
throw
know
it
it.
up. That's what
That's
it
what
is.
it is.
Inside my
Actually,
N-I-C-A-D-E-I-L-E-T.
bitch.
I definitely spelled that wrong.
Bro, featuring Schoolboy Q. Yeah. So okay. All right.
There's no
Then,
problematic lines in that.
Let me see what's on. Yeah, we'll just do the regular version. We won't do the deluxe version.
This is the holy.
It's 3 extra songs,
Oh,
but
is it?
none of the 3 are worth it.
Not
so
worth.
we're gonna be
Not
doing
worth.
the Heist Standard Edition by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
2012. God
Depending on how long our guest episodes are, I don't know that the seasonal mood is going to be right for my other 2 picks, so I might have to wait. But yeah, so we're gonna finally be covering Macklemore on this episode or this podcast, and you're gonna fucking learn, all right?
Nick is gonna sit
gonna-
his ass down and
You're gonna
listen.
sit your white ass down and listen, all right?
To the Seattle dynamic duo of Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Oh god,
Not
Thrift
me, though.
Shop's
I
on
will
this
not
album.
be
I
sitting
forgot
my
about
ass down.
that.
Thrift Shop there's a couple like this was his like popular ones, but
Oh, I know.
the popular songs are not anywhere near the best songs on the album. IMO.
He thought he was gay because he could draw. That's
Okay, same love.
Wait,
fucking
the
bangs.
unruly mess I've made is also.
This unruly mess I made also fucking bangs, but
The Chance the Rapper feature is really good.
change, even if I try.
see that's
Even if I
Wanted to. My left.
yeah. Need to Know is great with Chance on this unruly. Light Tunnels fucking bangs. Downtown.
I actually only know the Chance song, to be honest.
Buckshot's good. Saint Ides is really fucking good.
Bow, 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 bow.
Albums are so criminally underrated.
Criminal.
I can't listen to Chance the Rapper anymore. He gave up on Hot Ones. I have no respect for him.
Oh, did he actually?
Yep.
I also kind of gave up on Hot Ones. I haven't caught up in a while. I need to.
That's different, dude. If you go
He
on the show,
actually
you
gave
better
up.
finish that shit. Even if
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
crying
like-
and you can't talk.
Bro, YOLO, right? You know?
Yeah.
And he's one of the few people I've seen, like one of the few like mega celebrities I've
Like,
seen.
did
who
he
are on
actually
there.
give up? Like, he fully
Yeah,
stopped?
yeah.
Oh,
he
no,
like
you
he
can't
like
do that.
joined like the wall of shame.
The bitch club.
Yeah. DJ Khaled infamously gave up on like the third wing.
I'm not surprised. He doesn't eat pussy, so he kind of sucks as a person, I feel like. Anyways,
But like he's like the biggest like wimp in like the whole show, but
I would say
Funny.
probably in general.
probably in general.
Probably,
But
yeah.
some people you would not expect just
Bro,
do
if
amazing.
you don't reciprocate, you fucking suck, man. Like,
we got you, bro. We know
Yeah.
that's the general opinion of the normal population. of
exactly. That's a regular opinion. That should be the standard opinion. You know?
Yep. We too are
But yeah,
fans
so
of
tune
the
in
bare
next
minimum.
week. So tune in next week for The Heist by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this album. I love this
Oh
album.
God.
Nick, I don't know why you have preconceptions. It's great. It's a great album. It's legitimately a very good album.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
We're gonna be getting
Like
lit
the
with
ceiling can't hold us.
talking about the
we go
emotional
back.
transparency of
moment,
Thin
tonight
Line,
is the
Same
night,
Love,
let it-
Wings. We're gonna be talking about
We put
cowboy boots and gold. You know,
Can't
Cowboy
hold us did
Boots.
1.5 billy. All right.
Yo, Can't Hold Us is a fucking banger.
It's the best song ever.
It's very fun to play on saxophone. We would play that at marching band in the stands.
The trademark of a great song is hearing a marching band play it.
No, I'm not even joking. It actually is.
No, it's
it
hype.
actually is.
It's hype. All right.
The Loki
Nick,
is good.
You're gonna be a changed man come 7 days from now. All right.
You're
I'll
gonna be a
tell you what.
changed man in 70s, sir.
All right.
Macklemore's gonna educate me.
I'm gonna sit your white ass down and educate you.
Thank you, Macklemore.
Thanks, Macklemore. This is a
crazy,
certified
Bomb Bomb with the Sister Nancy sample.
Sister
Oh,
Nancy.
shit. Oh
Wait,
shit.
with the Sister Nancy sample?
Yeah. He sampled her in Bomb Bomb. That's where I first heard of Sister
Bomb
Nancy.
Bomb,
The song.
yeah.
Bomb
Wait, there's
Bomb
a
by
song
Sister
called
Nancy.
Bomb. Oh,
I heard it in that song. I'm almost positive, and then knew the actual song, and then that song got sampled again in what is it? Famous that uses it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not Bomb Bomb. Bomb Bomb has no lyrics in it at all.
I thought it was sampled at some point. Maybe not.
Kind of a bad song. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of rushed through it.
Maybe I found it trying
Yeah,
to search for that song.
This album
man.
actually sucks.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe you. Yeah, I feel like that's
I might have,
my.
searched it, found Sister Nancy, and then later on heard it in Famous. I don't remember the. I was like fucking 12 when that shit happened. I don't remember.
You don't remember, dude?
Don't
What the fuck?
understand.
I just remember listening to fucking Sister Nancy in the woods on my friend's iPod Nano at Wilderness Trail on the Appalachian Trail one
hilarious.
time.
That's crazy, bro.
Bro, we got dumb hype. You know? That's where I first heard fucking Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
In the woods.
In the woods on my friend's iPod Nano with one earbud in, and I was like, yo, this shit kind of hits.
Yeah, Nikki's going crazy on this guest verse.
I distinctly remember listening to fucking Power, and I was like, this is crazy that music can sound like this, huh?
You heard the Rick Ross feature on Devil in a New Dress, and you were like, "Oh shit, I feel crazy."
Damn, bro, this shit making me feel some type of way.
Well,
Yeah, I guess recent listings. Me, Flip Turn's new album, Fucks, especially Space Cowboy and Playground. Those two songs.
you can
I when I picked up my car from getting it, dude, Material Science is crazy. I got this shit like sprayed on the front of it that like it gets chipped by rocks, but then the heat of the Colorado sun will cause it to kind of melt, and then it will just like recongeal.
Wow.
It's like an extra clear coat, dude. Material Science is crazy. But I got that shit put on my car from the dealership, and on the way home, I listened to Space Cowboy 3 times back to back. It is very good. It is a very good song. So yeah, the Shadow Glow album from Flip Turn. Can't wait to see them live with it. Listen to this album. Obviously, Monkey's new single. Rinse that shit.
Obvious.
And as a product of that, I've also been listening to a lot of Tranquility Base and Zaba by the Glass Animals, which has been
Nice.
I think it's somehow tangentially related, similar vibes, but different flavors of the like vibey shit. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me.
Mine is the same old. I've been listening to the same stuff. Nothing new.
I feel you.
So, listener, tune into last week's episode to figure out what he's been listening to.
Yeah, sorry, man. I feel like I say the same thing every week, but
Yeah.
No, you use it as a tool to tell them to listen. Don't skip to the end either. Listen to the whole episode.
Listen to the whole thing. All right.
And then you know.
I listened to The Forever Story by, I still don't know if you officially say his name, JID or Jid, but
I say JID, but I don't know.
that's how I say it too.
Yeah.
But it's a
Jid
really good.
sounds weird.
He says it both ways, like whenever he raps. But
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
bro, you're confusing me.
Never let them know your next move, bro. Enemy by Imagine Dragons featuring JID. That song hits. Song fucks.
Interesting.
Did you know that album is a 2-part concept album?
No.
The first half is about losing faith in God, and the second half is about his sister-in-law's suicide, I think.
You said that last week, I think.
That shit's crazy. I'm so blown away by Imagine Dragons making like thought pieces in music, you know?
Yeah. And then hearing it and being
They're
like,
from
"Damn,
Las
bro."
Vegas, bro.
Imagine coming out of Las Vegas and not being the Killers.
wait, isn't Baby Keem from Las
Baby
Vegas?
Keem, yeah, I learned
my
that.
bad. My fault.
I
My
learned
fault.
that, yeah.
Baby Keem, also great.
Where did you learn that at?
Me?
Last week when
probably-
Nick said he was from Vegas.
Oh, I saw this. There's this dude on TikTok does like the biggest artists from each state, and
Nevada. Baby
said
Keem.
Nevada, and
Who's
who?
North Carolina? Avid Brothers?
What? He's not gonna choose the Avett Brothers.
J. Cole probably, right?
Probably.
Who's from fucking Montana? That's what I want to. Idaho.
Or
Who
the
the fuck
baby.
is getting created by the damn potato
It'd
fields?
definitely be J.
Yeah,
Cole, dude.
Nebraska. JID, this girl named Stella
Ohio.
Donnelly, great new album. Another, I knew Stella Donnelly before this week and knew that she was coming out with an album this week, and I was excited for it, and it was great. But another person I discovered this week, her name is Julia Jacqueline. I really loved her new album, and I kind of just randomly found it in like the
Gotcha.
news section of Apple Music.
I have to
But,
figure out how to use Apple Music to learn things.
enough.
I approach it like someone who just doesn't know how to use a computer. That's how I feel about when I try to use Apple Music.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out yet.
That new Arctic Monkey single, great. Kenny Beats came out with an album the same day that we're recording this. That's mostly just instrumentals, but it's pretty
Wednesday?
good. Yeah.
These MFs.
Interesting. I think it's named after his dad. It's called Louis. But
CK.
no, not CK. No.
Vuitton.
Outside of that, I've been listening to some M Ward. He's half of She and Him with Zoe Deschanel, but his solo stuff, especially his last 2 albums, I really love. And a lot of Dawes and Bahamas, since I'm going to be seeing them live soon.
When is that? That's coming up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's September 9th and 10th. I'm seeing them back to back.
That's hype. That's gonna be a good weekend.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
we're
be
seeing Flip Turn on our Jordan's birthday. The day before
Yeah.
anniversary.
Yep,
I'm
I
excited
got you.
for That, shit.
Yeah.
That album
But
is so
is
good.
it.
Their new album. I almost
Everybody's
chose
been
it.
posting it. Everybody's been posting that album. on
Flipping
their
and
stories.
turning.
I'm like, why is everybody talking about swim
Swimming?
techniques?
Why is everyone basically might as well be posting backstroke?
Butterfly.
Real
Breaststroke.
ones know how to do a bucket turn in backstroke. That shit's crazy.
Oh, those are crazy.
That shit, like, as someone who was like a 2A
Yeah.
state level swimmer, bucket turns
Did you
make me
do
feel
it?
like I'm gonna drown. No, I
Did you
wouldn't
do
do it
it?
in competition, but I mean, I did it. We did it. We would do it like fucking around at practice.
Yeah.
But like, holy shit, that's one way to feel like you're gonna drown. Basically, do a backflip in a pool. like underwater the entire time. Yeah, no.
No, I know.
Terrible. No, I did the 200 IM, so I didn't do a bucket turn. Wasn't worth it. I haven't swam in years. But we just wanted to say thanks for listening this week and watching if you did. Remember to tune in next week for The Heist, the long-awaited Macklemore and Ryan Lewis episode. Be sure to listen to it so you can kind of have your own thoughts and mentally join in the discussion with us. Once again, if you want to keep up with the show or share your thoughts about this week's episode, check out the socials. We're on Twitter at List Up Podcast and Instagram at Listen Up Pod. Those accounts, as well as our personal handles and the merch link, once I re-register the domain, are going to be in the description of wherever you found this episode. New playlist this week, right?
Yes.
Volume 11, Nick's Mix. Check it out. It's at the socials.
Yes, I did not forget. That didn't happen.
I definitely also didn't forget until I was reading the outro either.
Yeah, that's definitely coming out, you guys. Get ready for that.
And finally, if you enjoyed this episode, if you throw a rating, a review on your respective platform our way, that'd be great. And YouTube, like, subscribe, bell, all the whole shebang, helps us out. Hopefully helps you out if we ever become our real community. Other than all that, for now, we'll catch you next week. And remember to listen up.